Hi guys, it's your guy Olumide, and today we're gonna be solving another one of the most commonly asked tech interview question. It's a problem solving techniques actually, so that is asked and it is implemented in many DSA and Leetcode problems. So it is asked by top tech companies including Google, Amazon, Netflix, Meta, Apple, Microsoft, and other top tech companies. Let's imagine that you keep track of each money you spend on a light meal, or let's say you spend on candies for each day over a period of days, and on Monday you spend $10 or 10 naira on candy, and on Tuesday you spend $15 on candy, and on Wednesday you spend $20, and this is the record of how much you spend over a period of time from Monday to Friday. So now to get how much you spend on Wednesday, like how much you have spent on candies up until Wednesday, is actually given by $10. This $10 right here plus $15 plus $20. So this is the sum of how much you spent up until Wednesday, right, which is $45. So this is exactly what a prefix sum does. A prefix sum will help you to maintain how much, or the sum, running sum of a particular set of value up until each index of the array, so, or of each record. For now, let's say on Monday you spend $10. A prefix sum is gonna help you to keep track that, okay, how much running sum have you spent up until Tuesday. So prefix sum, instead of having 15 here, is gonna sum it up to 25, and then if you wanna get up until Wednesday, is gonna sum it up to 45, and if you wanna get up to Thursday, is gonna sum it up to that's 10, 25, 45, that's 55, and on Friday that's 60. So that's what a running sum is gonna give you, the sum up until each point or each index in the array or record. And this is typical example of a prefix sum now. So corresponding, it keep the running sum of each amount that is spent on each day. So right here we have 10, so for the same index, and right here we have 25 for the same index as the initial array. And why is 25 is because it's summing up with the is keeping the running sum up to that particular day, up to that particular index, up to that particular point. So, and that's how we have it here. So now to find the prefix sum, this is just a visual of how it works. So for the very first index now it's 10. Why? Because there is no running sum. The running sum before this index is just 0. So that's why it is 10 right here. So but now to populate the next elements in the prefix sum, now we have to sum the previous element, the last element here, which is 10, with the current value at that index, which is 15. So that's what make up 25, right? So now to move on to the next element and to find the value is gonna be the running sum, so of the previous index, which is 25. Then we add the 20 right here to it, so as to keep up the running sum to include this particular index or the value at this index. So, and that sum up to 45, right? Now to find this also, we go and get this 45 here, which is the running sum, the latest sum. We're gonna then add this particular value 10 to it now to include the this value in the running sum. So, and that's what we did here. And when we move on to the last element, we take the running sum for the previous which is at the previous index, which is 55, and we add this particular sum so as to include the value at this index to the running sum, and we come up with 60, right? So, and this is the code implementation. This is what the code will look like. So we're going to be defining a function that will help us to compute the prefix sum, right? And then it's gonna be taking in a list of array, which is num. So it's gonna be a list of integer, or probably we have any other data type. It could be a string, but really it's mostly used on integers, on array of integers, right? Because we want to find the sum, the cumulative sum. So prefix sum now, first of all, we will have it populated with the very first element in the array, just like we have it here. We will have it populated with very first, because that one does not have a running sum, a previous running sum, because it's the first element in the array nums. So or the previous running sum is just 0. We can just conclude that the previous running sum is 0. So we're gonna add the first element in the array nums into the prefix sum, and what we want to do is that we want to iterate through the remainder of the elements in the array, starting from the first index. Don't forget that it is 0 index in Python, right? So and because we've added that element that is 0 index to the prefix sum up front, all we're gonna be doing is that we're gonna be iterating through one step forward to the end of the array, so from 1. And what we want to be doing there is that we want to append, we want to append into our prefix sum. And what we want to append into the prefix sum is just the very last element in the prefix sum, which we are sure that it will be the running sum up to that point. You understand? So that's why we take it as prefix sum of -1. We know that the very last element in the prefix sum will be the running sum, will be the last or latest running sum, right? I'm gonna take it now, and what we want to do is that we want to add the value at this particular index, so as to add it to the running sum. And what we're gonna do is, after adding it, we're gonna append it to the prefix sum, I mean the array prefix sum. So once we move on to the next element again through the iteration, when we get to the next element, that particular running sum that was appended into the prefix sum will be extracted again. So and how we can extract it is by using prefix sum of -1, getting the very last element in the prefix sum array, and then adding this again to it, that is the value at this particular position in the array to it. So and that's how we keep doing it, and that's how we keep maintaining the running sum, so up until each of the index now in the array. So that's how we do it until we get to the very last index in the array. So now real world example of an application of the financial the real world application of the prefix sum is in financial analysis, so whereby we use it the prefix sum to calculate cumulative earnings or expenses over time. For instance, now we could consider a company daily revenue over a month. So a company daily revenue today, tomorrow, over a month now. So a prefix sum can be used to quickly calculate the total revenue for any given period within that month, right? Probably, okay, we just want to get the revenue or the total revenue after at the seventh day in the month. I mean, just one week into the month, we want to get the running sum of the revenue generated. So instead of just having a definite sum of, okay, this is the total revenue at the end of the month, a prefix sum can help us to calculate the running sum over each day in the month, so that we can easily track how much we've earned or how much is our revenue so far since the last 2 weeks or last week. So that's what it helps us do. So by pre-computing the prefix sum now, the company can instantly then determine the revenue from day 5 to day 20 without having to sum each day revenue individually. So, and that is the advantage of using an application of the prefix sum problem solving technique. So you don't want to miss this interesting yet crucial problem solving technique. So I will be solving couple of DSA problem or Leetcode problem under this prefix sum. It's most commonly used by top tech companies including Google, Amazon, Netflix, Microsoft, Meta, and other top tech companies. So, and one of the problem is the sum between range. The sum between range is one of the problem that we'll be considering subsequently. So another one is the case sum subarray. So we have the case sum subarray, we have the product array without current element. So stay tuned, do like, comment, and engage with my content, please. Also follow us on YouTube. That's where we upload our complete solution to each DSA problem, because most of this platform on Facebook and LinkedIn and TikTok, where I do post my content, really does not tolerate a very lengthy video. So, and I have to upload the remainder on YouTube. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is going to be in the comment section. So thank you, and do have a nice day and a nice night, because it's currently night here. All right.